Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel, Flat Shift. This week we're going to be taking a look at my 2018 Shadow Edition M140i. I'm going to be running through a mod list, things I like about the car, things I don't like about the car. Yeah, and just giving you a rundown really, what I've spent on it, what mods I've done. What mods did we do firstly? We done the wheel spacers. Now, they're tucked in slightly because I lowered the car after, but the rears still look really good. The fronts probably could do with some more spacing, but the rears sitting really nice. So they were the MMR wheel spacers. And then it was the Maxton Designs Lowline kit. That come with the diffuser and the front splitter. They're a must, absolutely. I mean, the Shadow Edition come with the black kidney grills, the slightly tinted headlights and slightly tinted rear lights, which are just absolutely sexual. Next up was the exhaust. So went for the M Performance back box, sort of keeping it OEM plus, and then we went for the Scorpion res deletes, and then as it sits it's still got the standard cat in because it's a daily driver. Next up was the rear lip. I went for a carbon, sort of quite long extension lip. Before I had a short one, I didn't really rate it. It didn't give the rear end that aggression, that aggressive look that I was going for. So we changed it to the carbon, and I think that adds a really nice touch. Next up for me was the M Performance LSD. Now obviously I can't really show it, there's not much to look at, it's all internal. But this really changed the way the car felt. When it had an open diff, I was sort of getting cheesed off, can I say, with the fact that when you put your foot down, mainly in the wet, which happens a lot here in England, obviously rains, so it was just not coping, and it was just darting all over the place. It was an unpleasant feel. Then up next was the BM3 Stage 1 remap. Now, the reason I went for this is because it's sort of like a customable tune. You can sort of customize it to how you want it. It's on your phone, it's accessible. It's reasonably cheap. I'd say it was around about 600 quid for the package. And yeah, it was a no-brainer to go with the BM3. In my opinion, don't get me wrong, it could benefit with a rolling road as well, so you know what sort of torque figures and BHP you're putting out and whether it's running safe. But you can run data logs on the app and it will give you everything that you need to know to make sure the car is running safe. Now the BM3 stated that on 99 octane it would give me 20% more brake horsepower, which took the brake horsepower up to 426 brake, which is a major increase on the 350 that it originally come with. And let me tell you, it's very noticeable. Then next up was the Osprey V2 performance intake. Now, I am looking at a Funk Motorsport turbo blanket because I can feel when, especially on track and stuff like that on a hard drive, I can feel the heat soak going in through the intake. Now, you can feel it under the throttle response. Sometimes it will be a bit jittery when the car is really hot, and I do think that is down to heat soak. So I know a lot of people obviously with the box I'm in and stuff like that, but the thing is, if you've got a really nice looking induction kit, are you going to want to box it all in so you can't see it? Not really. That's not for me. I'm going to go down the route of trying to cover that turbo up with a turbo blanket and making it as heat sufficient as possible. So then, the B58. Let's address that. So, one of the main reasons I really got this car was because of the B58 and the engine that everyone was talking about. Obviously, it come out, they put it in a new Supra, which was pretty cool and an eye-opener. At first, I thought, why have they put a BMW engine in a Supra? Because I love Supras. If you're a car guy, chances are you love a Supra. So yeah, I just didn't understand it. And then the more I got hearing about this B58, and at the start I was looking at a 240, and then I heard that they was in the 140, and I thought, I've got to explore this engine. So that's one of the main reasons that I really got this car, and I think I've got to address it because it is so good, and I think it's becoming fast a modern day classic for an engine. I know BMW have many of them. What do I love about the B58? So the fact that it is really torquey. I mean, 355 brake I think it put out when it was stock, but it felt more. It felt way more. Don't get me wrong, towards the top end it did start diving off, and after a while I sort of got used to the power. But when I first jumped in this and I drove it, and I just, you know, it puts you back in the seat and you think, Christ, this is in a 1 Series. It was just, it didn't even make sense. And then straight after we got the car, we took it on a road trip, and I was really nervous about how much fuel I was going to be putting in the thing, and how well it's going to perform, like reliability and stuff like that. And the engine just blew me away. I mean, we was putting out, I think, roughly around 30 miles to the gallon on main roads, which for a 3-litre turbo was just, it really blew my mind. I had 2-litre TFSIs and stuff that were just doing those numbers as well. We had a whole another litre, and it was doing that, and it really blew my mind. And I thought, do you know what, this is a fantastic car. And then I think we've got to address the fact that the engine itself has so much potential. It can really do crazy numbers for not a lot of money. Like, to get really good numbers in these, you haven't got to forge them. You simply put on your bolt-on mods, bolt-on turbos, hybrids, stuff like that, and the torque figures that you see and the BHP numbers are just incredible. Like, we're talking supercar numbers for 20 grand, like, in mods, and that to me is just insane. Like, I don't think there's another engine you could buy out there, spend that sort of money and get that reliability and that power out the box. I mean, you know, it's crazy. And then I think we've got to talk about the reliability of it. So I've now done 15,000 miles on this engine, and I've done one service. The car's been full service history all its life, and I think as long as you keep up to date with all the servicing, make sure it's all good, anything you hear, just get it done, all the belts are good, whatnot, I think these will run on for way over 100k plus in years to come. I just think a lot of these cars have a lot of miles on already, and that's because they are so good at commuting, and the reliability is there, and the fuel efficiency is not as bad as you may think it is. So driving modes in this car, you got Eco Pro, Comfort, which it spends most of its life in, the majority, going around town doing your odds and sods. And then you've got Sport, which is what I like to drive in the wet. So if it's wet out or damp out, if I'm having a sporty drive, I will tend to have it in Sport, just for that safety barrier, that safety net. Because let's not forget, it is rear wheel drive and it's got a lot of power to the rear wheels, so I like to have that safety net. If it's dry, 100% Sport Plus all the way. And what that does is it allows the car to have part traction. You can turn the traction fully off. I don't tend to drive it like that. I like that bit of safety net there. I like to get squirmy, but I like to know that it's not going to do a full 360 on me and send me through the hedge. And let's be honest, I'm still on the road now, so I'll just bang in Sport Plus for you. It's a nice day, and we'll have a little rip. Really, this thing just does stupid numbers straight away, and there's not loads done to it, and it just hooks you back in the seat. There's never a dull moment in this car, honestly. When you put it in sport mode, I love it. So, how much has this car set me back so far in mods? I'd say roughly I'm around about 5k in, probably over. You know, I don't like to think about it too much. It'll get you down. So if we say I bought the car for 22.5 last year, so I paid over premium. I have 45k miles on it. I paid over premium because I bought it from a garage. I wanted that comfort there that it come with warranty. If there's anything wrong with it, then I had that comfort. I could use the warranty. I could blah blah blah. You know how it works. So I paid over the odds, probably by £1 or £2. But yeah, we all know the prices of these are dropping at the moment, which is a shame. For the owners, if you're looking to buy, brilliant, because you're going to get yourself a bargain, because these are really dropping, and I think across the board everything's dropping. So all in together, if we're looking about 27 grand on what I've spent on this car, that's not including servicing and stuff like that, and tyres and stuff. That's purely modifications and buying the car. Now what could I have bought for 27 grand? Probably something better than an M-Lite. Could have got myself an M3, as today's prices go. M3, M4. Did I mess up? I don't know. But once you've got the car and you see all the modifications and stuff like that, there's no way I'm going to stop buying stuff, because I'm a petrol head. It's what we do. We waste money. They're money pits. Everyone knows. Am I going to get it back? Absolutely not. Do I care? Absolutely not. Because... Oh!